I like to get into the rage not hip hop. The trap isn't
Is
hip hop
rage not hip
conversation.
hop the new trap isn't hip hop conversation?
Yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah.
Culture United happened again over on the Company Man's channel. Make sure you go check it out. And
Hmm.
they had Glasses Malone and Wayno on there, which I'm like, all right, cool. Wayno being the more level-headed, fair-based one.
Hmm.
Well, Glasses Malone, we know what he does. Basically Glasses Malone was saying like people like Travis Scott, Playboy Cardi, Uzi, and all of them, they're not hip hop. Like that's not hip hop. Let's stop classifying that as hip hop. That's more so rock. And to me, I'm just like, the whole rage sound that's happening with, Playboy Cardi and Opium and all of Destroy Lonely, Ken Carson's, all that type of stuff. He's saying, let's stop labeling these kids as hip hop and start putting them like as rock. And to me, he's like, that's not hip hop. That's not rap or whatever. Yada, 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 woo, woo, woo. And I'm just in my head, I'm listening to this. And like I said, I recently listened to Gucci Man's Trap God 1 and 2. He says, well, if I ain't hip hop or something like that, he said something like, if trap ain't hip hop, then I guess I'm not hip hop or whatever. And
Hmm.
Pimp C has gone on record before saying like, "Oh, if y'all don't count Southern hip hop as hip hop, we gonna call ourselves real country rap tunes. Let's put your album and country rap tunes on the same shelf in the stores. Let's see who sells out more. Stuff like that." So
Hmm.
I thought this is bringing this conversation back up, as in like taking a subgenre or section out of hip hop because you don't want to classify it as hip hop. I thought it was an interesting conversation, but it's a conversation I feel like we've, not me and you personally have had before, but we as a collective in hip hop have had numerous times. And to me, this is just very reminiscent to me of the whole trap isn't hip hop conversation. So, B, I wanted to hear your take. Did you get to watch the video or anything? I haven't watched the
Yeah,
video since I put it in the notes.
it's crazy. I watched the video and I was like, let me put this in the notes. I swear to God, you put it in the notes. I remember,
Mm.
I swear I looked, I'm like, I was just about to put this in here. But
Uh-huh.
I watched it. I saw a company man posted on Twitter and I just watched it there. And one thing I love about Glass Malone, I used to be listener to his podcast. I forgot what it's called, but what was it called? Ceilings, no ceilings, all right? Um,
I have no idea.
and I think the concept with Glass Malone, he has a lot of different ideas. He has sometimes he say things you be like, huh, that sounds crazy. And then you actually hear him out, you be like, okay, I understand you, but I still don't agree with you. I always
Hmm.
appreciate Gas Malone because he has different ideas, and that's why I appreciate him. Even though, of course, I don't agree with everything, but I have to disagree with him on this one because why do it has to be a child of rock, which it could be, but why you have to throw that into this genre and not say it's not hip hop? Like, why are we so afraid to have subgenres? Like, I think that's a part of
He said because
everything.
the aesthetic is more so rock influenced and things like that. These guys are trying to be rock stars and stuff
But
like that.
yeah,
I
but
remember him
he
saying that.
Yeah, but you can't just because I say whoever said, "Oh, I'm the biggest hip hop star." Like rock star is not being like, "Oh, I'm a rock star. I'm playing the guitar." Like rock star is just a lifestyle to me. Like you think
Hmm.
about them trashing hotels and being like, "Have my glasses on the coolest when I walk in the
But also,
clubs,"
he
and
said
everybody
something
looking
about
at me
how
taking
hip hop is a
pictures.
lifestyle too. That's the one of the arguments he was making, that hip hop is a lifestyle too. So I'm guessing he's saying there's a dichotomy of a rock star lifestyle versus a hip hop lifestyle. But
But
it's
I think
like, is there really?
well, if
I
we
think
go
just
into
as
this,
a
we're gonna.
star, you're gonna do that stuff in general.
I think the rock star is always was seen as
A wild one.
more of not even a wild one. It was the more it's like the Grammys of like award shows. Being a
Hmm.
rock star is like, oh, I'm a rock star, I'm a pop star. Like that was like the level of it. Cause like as you grow in hip hop, they might put in magazines that you're a pop star. You know what I'm saying? Like they say about Drake. Like the bigger you get, sometimes it sucks. It's sad to say, not speaking in the genre, but speaking when you grow in music, you become like a pop star figure, or you want to be looked at as like this rock star because just the history of being a rock star, a big pop star. And most hip hop artists that influenced by rock and hip hop, the Rays, the Trippy Reds, you know what I'm saying, the Triple X's, RP to him, all these kids, the Playboy Cardi, they hold over more into the rock star. Uh, I think the rock star moniker just because of the lifestyle. Yes, they lifestyle. Yeah, they probably. Dang, this had to say because it's gonna sound really racial. Cause when you think of hip hop star, you'll think of like, oh, hip hop come with a lifestyle. You think of like, oh, the gangster persona. They smoking weed everywhere they go. Blah blah blah. Yes, a lot of these quote unquote hip hop rock stars, they do smoke weed, but They'll have a bracelet with spikes on it, some tight jeans. They're raging at their shows. It's hip hop ish, but it's I understand what he going by lifestyle and aesthetics. It's more of a rock aesthetic. The shows it's more rock influence, but it's still a part of hip hop. I think it's like being biracial. Like, what could I choose? Think about it. When people say they want, all right, bro, if I'm black, black people gonna claim me, but it's hard for me to claim white. Like if you I know a lot of mixed people, biracial people. They really cling to one genre. The one race really. They mostly gonna be if they black and white, they're gonna be more identified with the black culture. Hip hop and being this rock star with like Travis Scott, he's a black man calling himself a rock star. He has white fans because what white fans are like the majority of like consumers of hip hop and also with money, right? But he's looked up as a hip hop like he's hip hop because he's black.
Hmm.
It's racial elements towards it, but I don't really want to get too deep into that. But if you think about it, what Glass and Malone is saying when it comes to like if he was speaking on like how the media look at you and not from how it sounds and like what they producing because it is a baby of hip hop, it's hip hop, bro. It could be a baby of rock in hip hop. Like I said, it's biracial. This music is a feeling. You could throw a genre on music. We talk about it like what is pop music? We talk about this, but music makes you feel a way. They music is rage. It make you want to rage.
Hmm.
Emotion still comes from hip hop, and also it can be a little bit rock. It's like blues. All this stuff is transformative. Like it all can get put in different lanes. And I'm like, why you? And he wasn't saying like, oh, he don't like them or like he's trying to like push him out or something like that. But in a way, it's like I understand you try to have these different ideas, glasses, but it's like, what's the point of this? Why it just can't be rage hip hop? Like, why it just can't be a part of that? Because we've been having this for years. We always have collaborations between different artists and bringing different elements. You can't tell the difference from country music these days because it sounds like a freaking hip hop song sometimes, and they have hip hop artists on there. I don't know. I just don't understand why we I thought we was it's like it's like being past racism. Like I thought we were past like music isms and journal. Like why we like we bro, all this shit sounds the same, bro. A lot of this stuff takes from each other. Like hip hop got so
Yeah.
big that it's all integrated now. We
Yeah.
all excuse my French. You can blink it out. But it's like a big orgy of music. It's like
Hmm.
that's all it is. Cause you can listen to a Travis album
Hmm.
and it's not all rock influenced. You get what I'm saying? He have
Most of
other
it
elements.
isn't. I think the thing is like rage comes from trap.
Yeah,
And
it's a
like I
lot of
told you
trap
before, B,
elements.
it's mostly trap elements. It's just the aesthetic, the look of it. Like, but also they're talking about what rap stars usually would talk about. Oh, I'm doing these drugs, even though that's more of the rock aesthetic of doing all these different drugs. But in hip hop, as hip hop has moved on over time, even with 3 6 Mafia, are they not hip hop anymore because of their aesthetic?
Yeah.
See, that's when we start getting these deeper conversations. Because at first, trap wasn't hip hop. Where does trap
Hmm.
really come from? The South. Why? I feel like they try to push the South out. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But if we going into that, it's like rage kind of comes from trap. Yes, there's obviously that rock star aesthetic of it, but it mostly sonically derives from trap. It's just a
Hmm.
very heavier, more denser trap. It's a lot more 808s. What are 808s mostly associated with when it comes to music?
Trap music.
Most of the time trap music, like especially with the that's that South-ish, that trunk knocking stuff. That's mostly South stuff. It's just very aggressive when it comes to this trap stuff. I just don't get it because it's like you're rapping on a beat with heavy bass, heavy 808s on it, but just because I look this way, I gotta conform to it being rock now. So
Yeah.
how come rock can have all these different things like heavy metal, screamo, punk rock, emo rock, but when it comes to hip hop, no, 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 that's not the hip hop that I know. That can't be hip hop.
Yeah.
That's
It
not hip
it
hop.
it just seems like such an old conversation. Like it makes me think of this old lyric that Childish Gambino said: "A white kid get to wear any hat that they want, but when it comes to a black guy, one size fits all." It's like I'm too black for the whites, and I'm too whites for the blacks, and
Uh huh.
it's like come on. It's
Why are
like
we
it's West
segregating
Coast
hip
music.
hop?
Yeah, it's West Coast freaking funk music because the origins is funk samples and
Yeah.
like, come on, bro. It all, bro. Music's grow. It's like it has to grow. It's not gonna stay the same. The elements will change. You just would call it something different, like they did. West Coast hip hop.
Gangster rap.
Gangster rap.
Hmm.
And that's also a part of West Coast hip hop. It could,
Yeah.
it's just, bro, it all helps us grow. I talked about this last year when it came to regional sounds. Shout out to Potty
Hmm.
Mouth for starting that conversation.
Yeah.
Like, bro, regional sounds, different sounds all across the board of music in general, all these notes create different music. It's a family of music, it's a family of sounds. That's all it is. And I don't know. I'm just sick of the genres, bro. That's why I love music. Like, yes, I'm a
Hmm.
hip hop head, but I'm a fan of music overall. It's music over everything.
Hmm.
It's like, I don't know.
Yeah. It's just one of those things where, for me, obviously back in high school, middle school, I love trap music. That's the stuff I was coming up on. So to see stuff like, oh, that's not accepted in real hip hop head spaces, to see it gradually be accepted, and now this is to me, this is that new conversation of, oh, this isn't hip hop because this doesn't conform to the usual standards and the common things that are supposed to be adjacent with hip hop. Do we not? Did we forget that hip hop is like what the youngest genre that there is? We're going to have to
Mhm.
grow. There's going to have to be differences. Remember, B, we have a whole alternative hip hop. It's like that kind of has been erased itself because a lot of alternative stuff is just now accepted. It's just weird to see something that's trying to, well, someone trying to push something out as hip hop, but it's like you want these people to be successful, but it's like, I don't know. To
And
me,
and
this
B,
type of thing opens up the door for more in hip hop than it will in rock.
like just to bring back, we can go back into centers, bro. Like about how this all this music is combined. Like if you go rock music, it comes from black people. The first rock star, technically, people look at it as a blues musician, like what's his name, Bobby Johnson or something like that. Like
Mhm.
I think they labeled him like the first rock star because he
Mhm.
was so big, but he was a blues musician. Like all this stuff changes, man. All of it grows. Music, come on, man, it inspires others, and it just is what it is. But I'm gonna have to re-listen to the conversation, but I don't
I
know.
am
But
too.
that's one thing. That's one thing I like about Glass Malone. He gonna say some stuff, and you gonna be like, "Huh?" And then you actually think about it. You be like, "I don't agree with you, but I understand what you're saying, but I still don't agree with you." But
So what about his GNX's hip hop Thriller take? You agree with that? B, why'd you even think that? Why'd you even think? Why'd you even entertain that thought? Why would you even entertain that?
I'm trying to put in the context, the proper context of like, okay, Thriller was Quincy Jones and Michael
F
Jackson's
no,
full.
B. The answer is F no. There's no context I could put that album in to
But
ever amount to that.
I'm trying to see it correlating. Like, what did he ever like expound on that
Chart
idea?
success and stuff like that, and the
Uh,
songs charting and things like that. But to me, there's so many elements missing from a GNX to make it a thriller.
Could he use that for
Just
Drake's
no.
views? Could views be Thriller in? Because it has mad short success.
Yeah, it does. And to me, hip hop wise, I don't think Drake's views would be a hip hop thriller.
Because it's not all fully hip hop that's on the charts.
No, because I feel like Thriller wasn't necessarily just one genre itself, but
Hmm.
because it has R&B elements, it has pop elements,
So
you
I'm
know,
saying you want a full core hip hop album, like actually like
like a,
Kendrick.
a like a it's an album made by I'm thinking album made by a hip hop artist that is
So
hip hop's Thriller.
so Drake not hip hop.
No, 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 no. The reason I'm saying that views is not hip hop because see now I feel like I'm getting misconstrued because I might be confusing myself. I think Drake's views is not hip hop's Thriller because to me, while it does have chart success, I can't really think of like the big hits like you can off of a Thriller. You get what I'm saying? Like with Thriller, you got what Billie Jean. Billie Jean is on Thriller, right?
Mhm. Yeah,
Thriller, the actual title track. Dang, I really gotta look at Thriller. Um, F, what is the song with him and Paul McCartney? I'm losing my thought. Let me look up Thriller's track list real
that
quick.
girl is mine. What about you think about Controller, Pop Style? Feel Away is not really was a hit, but it's a
See,
great
that's what
song.
I'm saying. Okay, so look,
Um,
now I'm looking at the track list for Thriller right now. Track list. First of all, 9 tracks. Crazy
Yeah.
as it is. 42 minutes. Want to be starting something? Cool.
Wanna be
Baby Be
starting
Mine?
something.
Cool. The Girl Is Mine, Thriller, Beat It, Billie Jean, PYT.
Hmm.
In terms of like it all sonically kind of like being within the same range
Hmm.
and having huge hits. Like, yes, this obviously if this was
I
like
don't think
charts and stuff like
so. Do
that.
hip hop have a hip hop thriller? Because
That's
GNX is
why
not
remember I
that.
told you earlier in what we've been jamming. I think the closest album we have to that and who we get it from is a Rihanna with
That's
Anti.
not hip hop though.
That's what I'm
It's
saying.
not.
That's the closest. That's what I'm saying. That's the closest. But a lot of that album has a lot of hip hop elements. That's why I say that. Even though you can say that about
But
every music genre now. I know you say that a lot. But I'm trying to think like I don't think do we can hip hop ever have a thriller?
I don't know. I don't know. Fetty Wap got the
I don't
closest thing with all the hits.
then you'd say Nelly then, basically at that point.
Fetty Wap had like 4 or 5 hits they dropped on that album, bro. But no,
Yeah.
I really I have to think about that. A hip hop thriller with all the hits. But it has to have less tracks too. Like you can't have a freaking 16 track album.
Yeah, that's why I can't put Views in there because Views has like what 20 tracks? Like
Yeah.
a lot of
Even
those tracks are B-sides. A lot of
yeah, I
Thriller
can't
is
put
A-sides.
I can't put GNX in there because they don't have the actually the only big song off GNX is Luther.
Luther. Second to that is
Yet,
maybe Squabble Up.
and I'm saying they was on it, but they wasn't like huge songs.
Yeah, not like
Nah,
those. That's what I'm trying to think.
nah.
Like, what album in hip hop will we have that could be hip hop's Thriller? Not saying that it's literally the exact equivalent to Thriller, but it's hip hop's Thriller.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to actually do a research. We might have to have a discussion about that. I'm gonna do some research and I'll let you know if I'm down to do it because I'm like, yo, I think I got an album, but I don't know. I don't know.
I understand, but yeah. Let us know what y'all think. Is Rage not hip hop, or is this just a new like trap isn't hip hop conversation? Let us know in the comment section down below. But let's get to the last topic, B, because even though we didn't talk about it last week, that whole Kanye situation.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't wanna touch that. Yeah.
Pun hopefully not intended.
Man, shout out to Beyond Beats and Culture.